In boxing, there are no superheroes. Every fighter could be hurt. And right there, Bud gets hurt, and then right there, Bud gets hurt again. Both of these fighters are known for their offensive prowess, not their defensive ability. And both of the fighters have been hurt in several fights. Right there, Mean Machine rocks him. Going over the film of 200 years of the sport, there's no one fighter who's never been rocked or never been hurt by another person. There's no such thing as superhuman. And as a matter of fact, Mean Machine even drops Bud right here. It should have been counted as a knockdown. Like I said, there's no such thing as superhuman. And this fight is going to be good because both of the fighters are offensive juggernauts. Both of them neglect defense at times to sell out for their offense, which is going to make for an exciting fight. But did I mention Bud stopped the guy after being hurt? That makes this fight even more exciting, that the guy hurt him. Every time he's been hurt, he's finished the guy. So that makes the fight more exciting. Errol Spence right here gets rocked. He gets rocked by Danny Garcia right here, spits out his mouthpiece. His mouthpiece goes flying as a tactic of his. Like I said, there's no superhumans in boxing. Errol Spence has been hurt, and so has Bud. And every time Errol Spence get hurt, he spits out that mouthpiece. I know what he told you guys about, it not fitting his mouth right. And
my mouthpiece actually don't fit my mouth because I still didn't get a mouthpiece because I didn't want to go to the doctor and get a mouthpiece because I felt like it was embarrassing because I had a partial in my mouth. Even with the Ugas fight, when he knocked my mouthpiece out, I wasn't hurt. I basically went off because I thought he had knocked my teeth out. Embarrassing as hell. So.
Well, this is him early in his career in the Van Heering fight, where Van Heering catches him with a good sequence of punches, and then he spits the mouthpiece out. Let's look at it again. He catches him straight left, and then he spits the mouthpiece out. And then the referee goes and picks the mouthpiece up, pauses when there's a break in action, gives Errol Spence that little time to wash his mouthpiece and put it back in. And when Errol Spence gets that little short break, he recovers. He has good recuperative powers. That's why he does that little tactic. And he comes out and he ends up beating the shit out of Van Heeren and stopping him. Like I said, both of these fighters, when they get hurt, they fight back, which makes for a very, very exciting fight. This is what people mean when they say it's a 50-50 fight. Because both fighters, when they're hurt, they just need a split second to recover and they're right back into the action. And they end up ultimately stopping their opponents right after getting hurt. Like I said, there's no superhumans in boxing, but this is truly a 50-50 fight. I would not bet on this fight. This fight is 50-50, meaning if they fight 10 times out of 10, Errol's going to win 5 and Bud's going to win 5. How do you know which fight out of the 10 this is going to be? That's how razor thin this fight is going to be. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that feints is what gets Bud out of position. You can't just come straight in there. Sean Porter gave him trouble because of the feints that he was giving him. And Errol Spence has been learning from the past fighters like Marvin Hagler. See here, he's hitting himself. He has to go out and fight exactly like Marvin Hagler did Tommy Hearns. He has to jump on him when the referee's announcing their stats and take advantage of Bud being possibly overtrained and drained.
Only took off Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. This other nigga Bud took my working every day. You gotta have a day to rest. You know what I mean?
Sunday my recovery day.
Well, your guy, Terence, you going up his training every day.
Oh shit, more power to him.
So Spence has to come in and get right in his chest behind feints to make him make the moves prematurely like Sean Porter did, then come in behind the educated attack. And then once he's already out of position, he could just duck up under the attacks and push him back to the ropes. People are calling him the eye collector. In this fight, he has to be the liver collector. It's not rocket science that Bud has a really small waist and small body. He's a small guy, and Errol Spence is a devastating body puncher. He has to take his liver. You remember Ryan Garcia, when everybody was making excuses for Ryan Garcia to quit, he has to give Bud reasons to quit with body shots. I noticed in the Sean Porter fight that Sean Porter was able to move Bud with body punches that wasn't even really devastating, and he was able to back him up to the ropes, and Bud just shelled up. He could not do this against Errol Spence. He can't go to high guard and just let Errol Spence tee off on him, because Errol Spence not only is a harder puncher than Sean Porter, but he's a stronger guy, so he'll be able to move him around with the shots, even if the shots don't land full flush. Because like I said, Bud did something in a Sean Porter fight I've never seen him do in any of his fights, and that was accept punishment. I know he was trying to play a mind game like, oh, your shots are not doing anything to me. He won't be able to do that with Errol Spence. And those shots actually physically did do something to him, because later on you could see it wear and tear. Look, he was able to spin him to the ropes, catch him with uppercuts, pin him to the ropes with his physicality. Like I said, he was being very physical with Terence Crawford. And that's the key for Spence winning. Right here, look, he ducks up under the shot. Remember I said there's no such thing as superhumans? Those body shots are starting to take a toll on Bud, and you can really see it physically to the point where somebody ringside said Bud tired as hell. And Bud started doing something I've never seen him do. Like I said, started posturing with his hand low, fainting him, trying to get a break. Floyd Mayweather does the same thing. They're just posturing to feint you to try to get you to react so they can get a break. But he doesn't throw a punch. Like, he throws a punch right there, throws him off, and then for the rest of the round, he just uses his feet, goes back, circles out, uses his feet, get out of range, and doesn't throw a punch. He's trying to take a break. He's itching to get back to that corner. Look, he turns his head and damn near runs back to that corner. I can guarantee you that Bud is going to come out and fight orthodox and try to spin Spence and not stand in front of him, spin him in angles exactly how he did Sean Porter. He's going to try to operate behind the jab. Everything he was practicing in the media day workout, he's going to try to do in the fight. I'm almost certain he's going to come out orthodox. He's not going to come out southpaw. It's a 50-50 fight for several reasons. Terence Bud Crawford has to go to his body like he did Sean Porter to slow him down. He has to go to Errol Spence's body and slow him down. So they have not only the same chances of winning, but the same game plan. The same strategy for Spence winning is also the same strategy for Bud winning. He has to go to Spence's body
Porter to
and
get
slow
into a
his
rhythm
aggression
to gain
down
confidence,
long enough to where he could just
and
stand
it's
him
forcing
upright
Bud to press
and
because he knows he's behind at least
money
as we
punch,
come
which
to
is
the
uppercut.
bell, an
So
opportunity
that's what
to
makes
check
it a
in
50-50
all
fight,
of it.
because both of them are probably ranked about the same as far as defense goes. And Bud has to go to Spence's body. He has to do exactly what he did. Back up, take a step back, and counter to the body. And Spence has to use intelligent aggression. He can't just try to force his offense in like he does at times. He has to actually stay on the outside, use angles to try to intelligently work his way. He cannot lunge. I repeat, he cannot lunge. He just got caught by Ugas lunging. And he likes to throw the straight left when he thinks he can catch you off balance, like right here. Throws a straight left, and then he brings both feet together, and he's squared up for that split second. He can't do that against Bud. Right there, Ugas just takes his hand, put it on his shoulder, and steers him. And Bud and them have been watching film, and I guarantee you they're going to try to duplicate what Ugas did. That's why I think Bud is going to come out fighting orthodox instead of southpaw. See right there in all the media workout training, he's pivoting, he's using angles, and he's boxing on the outside, trying to pivot Spence around. The same thing he tried to do against Sean Porter. And look right there, he threw an uppercut and lifted him up because he was lunging. Like I said, throughout the duration of the fight, Errol Spence kept lunging against Ugas, and Ugas was able to just catch him while he was lunging because he likes to force his offense. Even when he was in perfect distance and Errol Spence was getting him, he would reach. See how he reached just now? He had him in perfect distance. He got his shots off, and he would get greedy and reach for that last one and lunge. And he did that periodically throughout the whole Ugas fight. So I guarantee you he's going to get caught at some point by Bud and possibly dropped. And I think vice versa. I think that Spence, with that body work and being so physically strong, he's going to catch Bud and hurt him. So it's going to be a matter of who could outlast whose damage, because both of them are going to inflict damage in this fight. I can guarantee it. Errol Spence in this fight, also what he showed me is he was really physically strong. You see him hold him with the other hand, hitting him with the free hand, backing up. He made Ugas lean forward. Ugas knew better than to lean forward, but the body shots made him double over to where he was leaning. And if you notice, Errol Spence takes his left hand, grabs Ugas by the head, moves him over to where he wants his head to be, then pushes him back with his shoulders, and then throws an uppercut. That's the physicality that he needs to win this entire fight. He has to use his hands in the inside. Right here again, Errol Spence throws the straight left, lunges in, squares up, and Ugas catches him with the uppercut to the body. I think that, and then catches him with a left hook to the head. That's exactly what Bud's going to duplicate in this fight. He's going to come out fighting orthodox, and he's going to try to duplicate that sequence. And Errol Spence has to come right back with punches, just like he did in this fight. He has to stop ducking his head so much. He has a bad habit of doing that. But right here, Ugas tries to get physical back with him and pushes him off, right? He comes right back with a punch. That's what he has to do against Bud Crawford, because Bud Crawford's going to try to be physical like that too. I could almost guarantee it. Errol Spence has to make it really physical from the opening bell to, like I said, throw punches during the national anthem. Right here, he throws a left uppercut and then the right hook. Then he puts his arm and pushes him back and then lands another left. Spence has to use his arms in the inside to his advantage like he did in the Ugas fight. And he can't continue to stay down there for the duration of the fight. He has to throw short shots like he did right here, short right hook, and then he dips his head at a good defensive position, pushes Ugas back, and then lands an uppercut. He has to be that physical from the opening bell. Do I think he could do it? He did it when it was at Texas. He was comfortable in his own backyard in Dallas. I was at that fight. He was really comfortable. He never was uncomfortable in that fight. So he was able to start. And even then, he started probably the fourth or third round implementing the inside fighting. I think in this fight, it's going to take him longer to get into the groove of the fight, and he's going to let Bud get into a rhythm. Now, I will say this. Bud looked awful in the David Avanesian fight. Even though he won and got a knockout, I think Bud's legs are gone at this point. And I think Errol Spence does have a chance in this fight. But how I see it actually playing out, I think both fighters have slipped a little bit, and I think that Bud's best punch is the uppercut, and it will find a home for Spence. It will find a home on Spence's head, and I think that Spence will find a home on Bud's body. I think this fight is going to be a battle of who could take who's what and who has a slightly better defense, because both of them are offensive juggernauts. And I think if I'm going to go with those two criteria, I'm going to have to lean towards Bud. I think Bud is going to win the fight. I think Bud is going to find a way. I think Errol Spence might be winning the fight, but Errol Spence said something to me that let me know that this type of fight he's not built for, and I think that Bud's going to take it. But anyway, it's the Boxer Scholar, and I'm out.
It's going to be you or somebody else. You're willing to die in there, and you're willing to bite down and go the distance?
I ain't willing to die. I got 3 kids, a mama and daddy, so I definitely ain't willing to die in there. But, I'm put on a great show, great performance every time.
All right, man.